All right, the recording is started, and welcome to probably like the fifth Doge contributor meeting thing. The purpose of this meeting is going to be an AMA style, and to basically get a gist of, I don't know, stuff you want to complain about, stuff we wish we had, but there's going to be a few different rules today based on what happened last time. One, you're not allowed to do feature requests. You can't tell me what feature you want in the product. You can tell me a problem you have in DogeHouse, but you can't tell me a feature. Secondly, let's try to keep, if you're not talking, move yourself back to listeners. And then, yeah, I'm going to turn it on so anyone can just come on stage. You don't have to ask for permission. But if this gets too hectic, then we'll go back to requesting to speak. We'll see. All right, so I'm just going to add everyone on stage. Welcome. Also, if you can't hear anyone, for whatever reason, like you see their bubble but you can't hear them talk, I have a new audio debugging mode, and we'll see if that happens. And yeah, I'll add some mods. There you go. Yeah, you should be able to just go to stage. Okay, yeah, you can have Makashi too. Here you go. All right. Does anyone have anything they'd like to discuss? When will the DogeHouse stock market start? Maybe in a couple weeks. We had 172 people last meeting. Yeah, it's because I haven't done a Doge log this week. That's why. This is going to be a low key meeting. When will we make a
Sorry, I
bot
blinked out for a
dashboard?
minute. Um,
Now go
Room
ahead.
administrators. You refresh your page, your room administrators administration status is gone. Is there any way that like a delay can be put in for that?
What's your use case?
So, say I'm having issues with not hearing people and I need to reload the page. If I'm room admin and I reload the page, the room admin goes to someone else in the room and then it just becomes past the room admin around the room.
Yeah, that part does make sense because sometimes you do need to instantly refresh. I'll think about it. I think we do need something for that. Make a GitHub issue about that if you haven't already.
I have a few GitHub issues and GitHub PRs that I want to make, so
Okay.
I'll be doing that. Also, this audio debugger, from what I remember, it is only saying transport state receipt connected. Are you gonna have send transport as well?
Right now there's
Send
not a
transport.
problem with send. There's only a problem with sometimes you can't hear people. And so what it does is it also displays the volume of what like each person is speaking at. So we
That
can
is helpful.
yeah, so I can
That
see if
feature
it's
is
a
helpful.
yeah, so I can see if it's a problem with your speakers or if it's a legit not receiving the audio bits.
All right.
Will there
Hey,
be yeah, go ahead.
Whoa.
so what's the best way to help right now? Or what are some areas that you need the most assistance with?
So it's two things. One of them is the UI, matching it in Figma and creating the I'm not sure if all the components are taken, but we released some new components to be designed. They may already be all taken. That's one place, and then the second place would be just going through the GitHub issues and then fixing issues.
Okay, cool.
All right. One thing I was concerned about earlier that I do want to ask about ban evasion. In the current system, is there a way to implement some kind of ban evasion technique? So if someone's banned from a room, they just can't come on and alt and join. Like they'd actually have to put some effort into trying to ban evade. It's not just new alt, new tab, let's go.
I actually don't know what the yeah, I don't know what the solution to that is. because I don't know if it makes sense to like, but should it always be an IP ban is the question, or like should it be a separate button? Yeah, sometimes
Um,
people.
one thing I remember from a few years back, whenever I was using TeamSpeak, I was banned from a room on purpose. I asked to be banned so I could test ban evasion techniques. This is something I've been working in for quite a while. And what I soon realized that there's two layers of bans on TeamSpeak. You have a local ban and you have a network ban. A network ban means your IP is banned pretty much just on that one server and any server that server is, or any server affiliated with that server. And a local ban is your computer is banned. I couldn't really figure out what the values they were using. I would assume they were using some administrative access required values, but they pulled that data and stored it and checked every user who would come into that server and check if these values match the values of a banned user. And if so, they would be kicked and given
Yeah,
a
I
ban.
guess we have to have a separate ban for IPs then. So I can ban your user account or I can ban your IP from the room.
Um, sorry, I blanked. Been a long. Um,
Wait, why does Cloudflare change it? Cloudflare still forwards the IP. No, it forwards the IP. Also, we're talking about the API. The API is not on Cloudflare right now.
probably
But
not
I mean,
something.
eventually you probably do want the API on Cloudflare for DDoS
Yeah.
stuff. But yeah, they do forward the IP, or else no one would be able to rate limit using Cloudflare.
Um, one thing I'm still working on, this one's more behind the scenes. Most people don't hear me talking about this one just because of the struggle I've been doing with it. But I am working on an OBS integration for DogeHouse. Basically, you can have an OBS overlay for that. If I were to implement that, A, would you be willing to test it out and use it? B, would that be something that could go straight into DogeHouse as like an add-on to the URL? Because
Uh,
basically it would just be piping data from the API straight to an interface where it can be moved around and changed based on query
Although
options.
I think you can use the DogeHouse desktop app for that because that has an overlay and that takes like room data and all that kind
This
of
is
stuff.
not that kind. An overlay, as in you can change the overlay, you can move around how users are organized, how chat messages show up, etc. That kind of overlay, not
Okay.
just something you screen record, something that's actually designed to be easier to understand what's going on.
I'm open
Hmm.
to like creating an API endpoint for that. The question is, what do you see as the use case of wanting to use that?
So, say right now you're recording this contributor meeting. I'm assuming you're just screen recording it, yes?
Right.
With this, you'd put these API endpoints, whatever CSS you want to use with it, and it'll show up kind of dynamically, in fact, where you're speaking, you kind of move to the front if you want that enabled, or you can have all listeners just disappear, they're not there. You can have requesting to speak customization, listener customization, speaker customization, just based on query parameters, CSS, and whatnot. You also have, you can filter chat with it. You can show specific type, specific format for chat, and etc.
Okay. I mean, I can see where it could be good. I'm not gonna spend any time doing it, but if you want that, I'm
That
open to
is
having
that.
that.
Yeah, that's something I am working on personally.
Yeah. So like yeah, if you want to add and if you want to like add an API endpoint for it, that sounds good.
Okay.
And actually, real quick, I want to just debug this audio issue with mortality. So mortality, you can't hear anything I'm saying. Yeah, Fody, if you want to talk about docs, you're welcome to.
Hey guys. Hello.
Hello, welcome.
Yeah, thanks. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
Awesome, awesome. Happy to be here. Yeah, so I wanted to talk about the docs section. I noticed, well, recently I've been quite busy and all of that, quite choked up, and a lot of things been happening. So, I noticed the docs is not really, going that forward. So, I was kind of curious if anyone in here um, is kind of available to work on the docs with me because it's kind of load as well. So
If you want somebody to help you with docs,
yeah,
I
with the
can't
docs.
I can't sit there and I can't write docs because I have a lot of other things going on. But I can go through
Okay.
and proofread and make corrections, updates, anything if you need that. And I know there are some
Okay.
people in here working on other types of documentation, so they're
Yeah, because
probably a
I
better bet.
personally yeah, because I personally do think that it's actually really important, especially for Dutch House, because you remember, I don't know if you remember, Ben, the very first Dutch House version that first existed. It was it was kind of like people like installation and all of that. It was pretty hard, and all of that stuff. So like the idea is um gathering whatsoever issues anyone has installing Dodge House locally, or the contribution um contributing file, like updating all of that. I believe it might be changing maybe day in day out or whatsoever thing. So I really do think it's important to like keep those updated for anyone who's looking forward to contribute to Dodge House.
All right, cool. Sounds good.
One thing I like to say is what's it called? The DogeHouse JS is a lot farther than the DogeHouse.py, which I kind of wish that they would be kind of both
We
together.
That is
But
all
I
third
know.
party. I'm in charge of DogeHouse.js,
Oh,
and I believe
okay,
Andrew is in charge of DogeHouse.py.
okay.
if you
These
want
are
DogeHouse related
unrelated.
API wrappers, we have DogeHouse slash Keyboard that's used in KBase as well.
Yeah, Kebab is
I've tried.
much more down to bare as you can get. If
I've
you're into
used it.
the more technical part of it, then I would use Kebab because it gives you much more freedom over how you do it, but you've also got to understand how Doge House routes everything through.
Yeah, I use Kebab, but I'll not recommend to any person that doesn't know how we actually made it or how it works, because it's going to be super confusing. Took me quite some time to grasp it also.
Okay, so again, guys, there's another thing I don't know. I really wanted us to talk about. Well, recently I've been kind of skeptical to get on Dutch House. Well, not because Dutch House it's the new UI overwhelming and all of that, but guys, the bots. I don't know about you guys, but when I get on Dutch House, seems like I can't find, real people on Dutch House. I used to like, love to get on Dutch House and just hang out, just listen to other people talking about, um, I don't know, machine learning or cryptocurrency or I don't know, whatsoever thing. But like nowadays, we have like really the bots are like all over
Okay,
on Dutch
I
House.
would like to um, put my input on that one just because as one of the library developers, I do agree with you. There are quite a few bots, and generally the room that I'm hosting is one of the best rooms to find people and not bots. Is I'll leave the music bot on running so anyone can play music if they want to listen to music and whatnot. And a lot of people will
Thank,
just come in and talk if they want to talk. I have
thank you. I think,
I have
yeah,
fair
I think,
moder I keep the moderation team down to people that I know won't abuse, and I'm adding some
yeah,
more people here in the next couple days that are going to be on whenever my other mods are not. So I try to keep a room with actual people in it.
yeah. I think that's really important. And um, I don't know if Ben has a say in this. I don't know if you can say something, Ben.
Yeah, on
We're
the roadmap it's planned, the API.
Yeah, one of the next things that's going to happen is the bots and like regular user accounts are going to be separate entities just in DogeHouse, which is going to
Yeah,
allow things like if you want to ignore all bots, you can, for example, like you don't see messages in chat or something. So that is coming.
yeah, but like, how about like bots totally running a room? Because sometimes I get into rooms and I can't even request to speak because it's just all bots.
The thing is, some and I've kind of contributed to this is I always host a room for bot developers. The room I host is for developing bots as well. But
Hmm.
because of the volume of bot developers, that also brings in a lot of real people. That's why I said you'll
Hmm.
probably find the best real people, but you also find a good, healthy amount of bots. The rooms with just bots are generally whenever people just need to test alone,
Okay.
and those probably aren't the rooms you should be looking for a bunch of interaction from.
Okay.
I mean, the other
But
thing too is if you're just talking about you're seeing, yeah, I mean, those rooms could become private. If you're just talking about like you click on a room and then there's only bots there, I think the answer is as well like we're going to be having a tag system. So when you tag the room, you can have a room that is, for example, bot testing, or you can have a room that's like, hey, I want to talk to people. And so you can see ahead of time. But I mean, there's going to be people that just create rooms and there's nothing interesting happening in them. Like that's just the thing that's going to happen.
I
Yeah.
had a question, Ben, on what your plan is for expanding the DogeHouse community to more than just developers. It seems like right now it's mostly just people who program because they're here from your channel. What's your plan on growing that community?
post on
Um,
TikTok.
Basically, just start doing events with other people that are like not 100% programmers. Yep.
Alright. I had one more thing to say. I'm not too sure if me and I was talking to some other people if we're too fond of the super admins idea, since I feel like it almost takes away control from whoever's creating their room for whatever designated purpose. Uh, just wanted to throw that in there.
So I think we'll have to one be careful about like what the role of a super admin is because yes, they shouldn't be. The purpose isn't to like control a room. The purpose is more for them to be able to. I'm the only person right now that can permaban somebody. So sometimes like there's somebody breaking say the terms of service of the site and there's a time between when I see the message and can permaban them. And the purpose of super admins is to decrease that time. So the goal of super admins is not to be like for them to be blocking people from rooms per se, but it is for them to permaban like unacceptable behavior on the site.
And how are you going to pick those super admins to make sure they won't be abusing that sort of power of kind of taking someone away from DogeHouse?
Definitely, there's just going to be a log, so you can see the log of every action a super admin has made, and so the super admins will basically be keeping each other in check, and like I will be watching it as well.
Oh yeah, thank you.
I think why not keep it like collaborators for now? Because you already trust the collaborators to a certain extent, because we have like write access, right? So
I don't
you could do that.
necessarily agree with
I
that.
would disagree with that
Yeah,
strongly.
because you can have a really good contributor and a really lousy admin at the same time. This
And
shouldn't be based on who is already involved in the project. This should be
Yeah, makes
who's
sense.
involved in the project and who has the best will of the people in mind, and well as can control their own impulses.
plus, contributors are still being, per se, moderated by Ben. I mean, anything they request to have pulled is still, it's not just instantly being added to DogeHouse. There's still some level of moderation in between that.
And I
Just
guess
have to be people that are
the other
trusted.
question is, what would a world look like if there was no super admins whatsoever? Like, is there a way to moderate without super admins?
But I also think
I
that
think
kind of
that's
brings
not
up,
a good idea. There
I,
will be racism or some or the other thing will happen that's gonna force us to like perma-ban someone, and you're not always gonna be there to do it.
I feel like super admins, like, I feel like it's kind of a bit much to take away someone's access from the every single room that they'd ever be able to join, like the entire site. I feel like it's a lot more reasonable to just be banning from certain rooms, or maybe ban rooms if there's a lot of, if the room, owner isn't following whatever your, terms state. But I feel like just permanently banning somebody is just a bit much. You see, even on other apps or sites like Discord. I mean, you really have to do a lot to even get permanently banned off the entire the site. So I don't know. It just seems a bit
I
excessive.
agree at the room level. I'm thinking more of it at like, for example, the other day we had somebody just flood schedule rooms with like
Mhm.
100 scheduled rooms. So like just like ruins this scheduled room experience. And so that's
Yeah.
the example where like bye.
Um,
I guess that actually does make sense. I
Super
think just
admins.
something you'd want to be careful of is you just really would want to be super careful with who you grant the privilege of being some super admin, because that's where it could, one wrong move of giving the wrong person that role could really kind of destroy the site for a lot of people.
And it'll have to
Yeah,
be
maybe the guy
something
just makes a
that
bot and bans everyone with that bot.
it'll have to be something that is kind of in conjunction with the people as well. Because if there's a lot of people saying this person is not fit to be an admin, but the person might be doing their job, but they also might be doing things behind the scenes that are a gross abuse of power without actually abusing their power, such as influence. A lot of times I see influence being abused by people with high power in something. Say they have a lot of power in something, they're doing their jobs, but they're using their influence that they got from doing this to manipulate other people into doing what they want them to do.
I
So it
mean,
has to be a moral thing as well as an administrative thing and a
that's why
communal.
it's important. Yeah, I agree with Otter Lord where like everything that the admin does will be logged.
Ben, I had a question about what coins would be used for. It
Um,
shows on like the Figma doc on for the desktop mockup. There's a button get coins, but I feel like it's just really not clear on what those will be used for.
yeah, it's like there. It's same for me. We haven't really thought through how the coins will work, or if there will even be coins. It was more of something like that would be like a cool idea sort of thing.
Okay.
Maybe we can do Doge Nitro subscriptions with those if
You
we end up
could, but
adding
then
one.
like it's dumb if you're just paying USD to get Doge, like fake Doge coins, which you then use to buy Nitro. You should just pay USD to get Nitro. But then,
But that's literally every other company, every other game or any other thing, they do it.
well, that's bits. That's a different. If you're talking about like Twitch bits, that's a different thing than coins per se. I mean, you could do it like that, or like coins are what you do to tip people. I don't know. Basically, I'm gonna punt that and think about it at a later point. I do want to have
Uh-huh.
like the ability to like use crypto to buy like Doge Nitro and stuff, but that crypto doesn't necessarily have to be our own coin.
I had
I
what I
see.
think could be an interesting idea is coins could be used for certain upgrades to your like profile, just like how for Discord Nitro you get animated profile pictures, maybe there could be certain upgrades you can make to your profile page with coins.
Yes, actually, I want that like in Twitch when you stay in a room for a long time, you get channel points. And so maybe the coins are like that, and then you can upgrade, say stuff like that, or like you get special commands or something.
And maybe if you get like a lot of listeners in a room, maybe you can earn some coins too, because that could, that's kind
Yep.
of helping out the site if people have these really filled rooms that people are interested in.
Yeah, I think like if you have a lot of people coming into your room and like listening for like a couple of hours, it means your content is actually very good.
I have a question regarding bot accounts. So we've discussed that you're in the process of adding this. How are they going to work? Is there going to be some sort of invite link like how Discord does it, or like how's all that going to work?
So it's probably gonna get more advanced over time, but the initial thing is gonna be I literally just have a separation, so I know what a bot is, I know what a human is, and there can be, for example, as a user, I'm not getting flooded with bot messages when I join a room. That's like the main issue I want to like start with, but then also I want to start giving like bots privileges, as in like bots can be in multiple rooms at once or something. As far as like you have to invite a bot to your room, I'm not. That's not going to be like a first thing. That's going to be down the line if it makes sense to do something like that.
Okay, and
Yeah,
second thing is, oh, second thing, um, is there going to be an endpoint or a way to get certain statistics about the site? For example, the amount of users, or is that still just something that's not going to happen?
No, that's going to happen. Doge Garden has a like a stats thing they're doing, and I'm going to be creating like they already have graphs. If you go to Doge Garden slash stats, I think, or something like
Yeah,
that.
he's the one making it.
I'm the
Okay.
main developer for
Okay.
that.
Okay. So yeah. So yeah, we're gonna create an endpoint for you. Yes.
Okay, sweet.
One way you could have bots inviting set up is in the room settings. You can have set it to bots can only be invited, or they can just pop in if they want to pop in. Like give the room admin to chat set invite bots or let bots in regardless.
Yeah. That
I'm struggling to put that in a different way. If that makes any sense at
you have
all.
three tiers. You either allow all bots, don't allow any bots, or like you invite bots yourself.
Yeah.
About the stats thing, I'm at least trying to build a dashboard for Dogecoin, a currency bot, and I don't want to store people's usernames. I only store UIDs. And the previous thing I did is I cached usernames, but I think that could be bad because people change their usernames. And I obviously want usernames on the website. So do you think there could be an endpoint for that, or do you think that would be too much?
There already is.
Like I know, but without authentication, I'm running it serverless.
Wait, what would you get? Wait, what would you want in response without being offed?
Just the user's username and profile picture from a UID.
Publicly available information.
I see.
Yes.
It's not going to be a soon thing, but I mean, eventually that
Okay.
was going to come. I think the answer is you should use headless puppeteer.
Okay, Ben, you said about like bot joining multiple rooms, but so I made a music bot, and trying to do that with multiple rooms is going to be really hard because of the way you implemented WebRTC. Are you planning on changing it? Because media soup isn't the best for bots at all.
Why?
We have to go through a lot of jank code to actually make it work, and I don't know if it will even work with multiple rooms.
Uh,
One, it'll work with multiple rooms, and I mean, jank code is just an interface. So like
okay,
build their
I
abstraction.
would like to put some input into this. The amount of struggle that I had to go through to get any audio through was a lot, a lot more than I was expecting. Like, I mean, I'm having to pass this stuff through an entire web server just so I can get it in without having to deal with MediaSoup throwing me 25 different errors.
I had a lot of issues too. Uh, like for me, I'm currently like storing the files, and I don't want to do that. Even Holotool, that's not a good idea.
Is this for sending or receiving audio? This is for sending, right?
Sending.
Ending.
Yeah.
I mean, why? I mean, I don't know what you guys are doing, but you should only need to send an audio stream.
That's what I thought as well. MediaSoup will return me 30 different errors before I can ever send anything. I've had to pass the audio stream through Express, then to MediaSoup before anything would ever send.
I didn't have to do that complicated of a thing, but I still had to research a lot to make it actually working. To actually send data to send any track to MediaSoup, you have to go through jank code.
Yeah, he's running through the medium of a file. I'm running through the medium of a web server.
So the answer is we're not going to be changing the interface or media soup for bots to have an easier time. What we will do is maybe we'll have a documentation page for you.
Once bot accounts are released and you can regulate bots, I'll be releasing the entire audio client. So people will be able to create audio streams on demand. I just need to know if multiple room support is going to be added. Is that going to be an issue? Or are we just going to be able to differentiate between the rooms depending on what's sent with the send transport data?
I mean, all you do is you would call you would need two to create two transports. No, yeah, it's gonna be totally fine. Multiple rooms sending dual
All right.
audio. It's gonna be a fine thing.
I think
Well,
it could be implemented as in Discord.js.
that's what
What?
I'm already doing that, but even then, once bot accounts are released, I will probably release all the code for it, and it'll be a one-stop shop pretty much to do anything for it.
Okay.
Yeah, but right now it's a hassle. Is what
It
I'm trying to tell.
it's a hassle, and
Yeah.
Eventually, we will have like username and password if that's what you mean by OAuth 2 for users to sign up.
Make a captcha. Make it captcha protected.
But yeah, so I mean that's why I haven't done username and password. It's not that creating auth for that's hard. It's that spam is hard. And so right now it's outsourced to Twitter and GitHub.
I've made a CAPTCHA API before, so I can help you with CAPTCHA if you want. I mean, it's not that hard. Probably you can do it yourself, but
Ben, I know this is kind of off topic, but I was kind of wondering what really is the point right now of followers and following. Like on other sites, um, like Instagram, for example, with private accounts, you'll follow someone so you can see what they post, or on Discord, you'll friend someone so you can privately
can
DM them. But right now, it just kind of seems like there really isn't too much of a purpose.
can I answer that?
probably there as a placeholder for whenever more features are added, I would assume.
Actually, there's already a working feature for this. If you follow someone and they create a public room and you're not in a public room at that time, you will get like a pop-up that, hey, this guy created a room. Would you like to join it?
And there's a
Oh,
That's
sidebar.
basically.
I
And
actually
even
wasn't aware
inviting
of that.
people, yeah, and even inviting people, otherwise you'll have to copy the link and stuff, right? If you follow them and I think they also follow you, you should get a prompt to invite them directly from the app itself. And they'll get another pop-up saying, hey, this guy invited.
Later on also there's going to be a lot of content on the site besides like like two rooms. So when that happens, it's a way for you to see content from people you want to see.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Adding on to the debugging system, is there going to be some sort of developer mode? So, say we can easily copy someone's idea if we're developing bots or something like that.
Um, I don't know. I think like the answer is maybe that might be like a good Chrome extension or something.
Okay.
Um, I think I have something here. On the new UI, I don't know about you guys, but like the site menu, um, on your left, I don't know. It's I don't know what to say about it. The review, you
That's
know,
not
Feature
everything.
usable.
less. Very
I think
feature
it
less.
should open the profile first, like profile pop-up, instead of actually
Yeah,
joining
like
the room.
You click on
I
the
mean,
name of the room and then it joins the room, right? If you click on the
I mean,
Yeah.
profile
like
picture, then it shows the profile.
Oh,
I don't know what I don't really know what to say about it, but I think it's a little bit. You know, the middle section and the right hand section, everything is good and neat, and but like this, it's good, but like when I click, for example, on admin, right? If I'm not in this room and I click on admin, I might just be clicking on admin just to see his profile. I don't know, or what he's up to, or I don't know whatsoever thing. But if I actually noticed this issue when I was in another room and I clicked on another person, and if he's in the room, it goes straight into that room and it locks me out from the previous room.
No, as I said, if you click on the room's name, only then it takes you to the room.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like two separate links. One of them's
Yeah.
for their
Click
profile,
on
and
his
then
name and it
the darker gray is for the actual
His
room.
Wait,
name.
what was the question?
click on the room's
Okay,
name, you
like
go in the room. Click on the guy's name or profile picture, you go to the guy's profile.
okay, so
That's
I don't know if we're talking about the same thing. I'm talking
on the
about the
left.
menu, like on the left, yeah, the picture,
Yeah.
like the
Yeah,
profile
same thing.
pictures.
He
I'm
also
talking
are
about it.
you do you see their names? Because if you're not in full screen mode,
I don't see the names. I don't see
or
the
right, you
names.
only see the profile pictures, right? So at
Yeah.
that screen view, there is no like there's only one link to click on. And so in that case, it's taking you to the room, but maybe it makes more sense for them like to take you to the profile
Yeah,
first.
that should probably be
Yeah, yeah.
changed,
Yeah,
especially
I
since that
just
means it's
saw.
I think
changing
that's an issue.
functionality dependent on like the screen size. Because like
Yeah.
when you do see the text and you click the profile picture, it takes you to their actual profile. So I don't know why that functionality would change.
Well, I was
With
just
that,
saying
oh,
because oh, sorry. You go.
yeah, I was just gonna say quickly, with that, when you go on someone's profile, you can just have like a snippet at the bottom which shows the current room and like join room if it's public, and
I
that'll
would
help with different viewports.
I would
I
also
think
make it so it's a pop-up and
that's a
not
great
an
idea.
actual like thing, and maybe add
That's a
some
great
back
idea.
arrows.
I
Wait,
think
what do
that's
you
a
mean,
great idea.
Hanbra?
So if you click on someone's profile, it takes you to their actual profile page, and the profile page is kind of small, but it takes up the entire screen. So maybe have it like a pop-up, like
A
everything
modal.
else.
I think
Especially since
a
there's no
modal.
content right now to really display on someone's profile
Yeah.
page. Like it seems super empty since
That's
it's a full page dedicated to just a link and a bio or something.
so that's one of the next components that's going to be like flushed out. We already have the design for it done. And I think that's the page that people are making components for right now, but it's going to be like you can see what rooms they're in, what scheduled rooms they have. So there's going to be more info. So right now it's what it is because it's just basically copied over from the old site, but soon it's going to have a lot more stuff. So we're not going to like temp make it a pop-up. It's just going to be we're going to add more stuff to it soon.
I just checked the Figma doc and yeah, I see what you're talking about. That
Yeah.
makes a lot more sense because my next question was going to be what's going to be there, but thank you.
Also, another thing I noticed was
Also, before we go to next topic, can you make a GitHub issue about the profile at the it should take you to the profile and not the room at the medium viewpoint. Whoever
Sure,
brought, yeah, thanks. All right, go ahead, Amit.
sure.
yeah, I know the design is not at all completed and all, but I tried it on phone yesterday for the first time, the new design, and it is so fucking dumb. Like I can't figure out anything to do. It's so fucking you
That's
can't.
really straight up.
It's literally dumb, bro. Who thought of this?
Wait, what
Please.
particular
But
part are you
what's
talking
dumb
about?
about it?
Okay, so I wanted to send a message. I click on the emoji by mistake, and now I'm stuck in the biggest emoji page. Okay, then I want to go back. I exit the freaking browser because there's no back button. Then I realize, oh, I have to click on chat to go back. Bro, it's
Okay,
dumb.
yeah. You're just talking about chat. Right now, chat's not very good on mobile. I agree.
I
Also,
agree.
many other
Sorry.
components like the drop downs and all, those are too big on mobile, like super big.
Also, I actually have a question about one thing for the mobile layout. Is if you go onto the mobile mockup page and you check I think it's dashboard, the first room button there has like a different background. Why is that? Like, what is that going to symbolize?
Featured rooms.
You're talking about Figma or
Well,
right now?
yeah, it's I don't know if it's currently implemented. I haven't used DogeHouse on mobile, but looking at the Figma doc on the dashboard, there's like a room that just looks different at the top.
Our now designer said in chat it's featured rooms, and as far as I know, it's not currently implemented.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Also, will it be great? I think it would be really great if we can see if someone follows us back. I think that would be great. Because like for example, if I click on someone's profile, I follow, for example, I follow admin, but I don't know if he follows me back. So I don't know. Just saying.
He probably follows you because he followed every single person he ever met on this app.
I can. It's already in the API. It's the client already fetches that. So if the designer or now agrees with it, I could make it a PR.
Yeah, I actually
Yeah, I
just
think
think
it'll
I
be
forgot to add that as a like in the UI. It like all the things are
Okay.
there for it. If you want to PR it, that would be great.
Okay. I reserve that PR.
All right, cool.
okay. That'll be great.
I have an idea, or I guess I'd consider it an idea for the actual like room buttons on your dashboard. Right now, it just tells you who is currently in that room, but I feel like it should actually show you the description of what the room is. Just a small change I was thinking of. Mostly because, to be honest, I would probably rather join a room for whatever they're talking about over who's currently in that room. And I'm gonna assume I'm not the only one who would think that.
That's a great
Yeah,
idea. That's a great
I'm
idea.
pretty sure Ben said before that he just hasn't added room descriptions in yet.
Well, there is one on I see it right now. I'm on the desktop version. You just click that little arrow and it says new rule. You're not allowed to say feature request. Oh shoot.
But you're talking about the homepage, right?
Yeah, dashboard.
Okay, yeah. All so do you see it? So one, we didn't want both pieces of information on there because it felt like the card was getting like really hunky. So do
hmm
you like it replacing who's in the room?
I would want it to replace there. Because that's what I was saying is like, I wouldn't join a room just because I see that, for example, jalapenos in there. I would join a room because I see, oh, they're talking about whatever topic, which is, I feel like, more important information.
Yeah,
I
makes sense.
I
And you
agree
already
that room
follow.
description is important, but I also agree that the people in the room are also important.
No,
Because
I
there's
think
times
if
whenever I'm
you want,
looking for a room with a specific person in it as opposed to a specific description.
wait, this
Okay,
Sometimes
guy's
hello.
idea is
Holo, sorry, Holo. I think what he's saying. I think what um he's saying, it's not necessarily saying that the people in the room should be removed or whatsoever thing, but like try to feed in that description. I think it's really important. I really do.
Is it
Like in addition to the people in the
okay.
room.
Can I
Yeah.
say something? Uh, so this guy's idea seems pretty good. So basically, right now it just shows right who's in the room. If we want to know if a specific person is in the room, we'd already be following that guy. We'll see him on the left side.
Exactly, yeah. So if
Yeah,
you
so
really
we
care about if one of the people you're following is in a room,
just
now it
follow
would
them.
just be
Yeah.
showing up in two places, but for what reason?
So
Sorry.
yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
In the designs, there's I sent link. There's some tags, and then there's on one line 3 people that are in the room. And I actually made a website that shows public rooms, and it shows the description. I think there would be a problem if it wasn't handled correctly with new lines.
That's the other thing I was gonna say is the title not enough information to like of what the topic's on.
To be
Then
completely
why put
honest,
a
a lot of the
description
time
field
it
be there?
really isn't. Especially because something I was thinking is the room description. I actually just found out that you already added that when I was looking at this room, but I don't know if you're able to change it mid-meeting. But that's one thing is you probably should be able to. And especially
Yeah,
if
you
like the
can.
topic of the room shifts and you're just, what if the title's super generic, development? Then you could put in the description talking about, I don't know, back-end technologies or something.
I think that should just become the title though, and you can change title midway through. Like I think the answer is people should be putting more descriptive titles, and I think like the description usually has extra like more info. Like for example, I have a YouTube link in the description. I don't need a YouTube link in like the home page. I kind of want like topical information to be what the title is.
Do something like this. Create another field for the room, like called short description, and that shows up over
Or
there.
just these tags. I think tags
Yeah.
are pretty descriptive,
Or
or
make
like front
tags.
end React.
That's what I was gonna
Yeah,
say.
yeah.
I think the combination of title plus tags should cover it. Question mark.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that's
in the
what I was
designs.
going to say.
Tags would cover it. But
Uh,
just in case,
okay.
like we could keep it something like this.
Is the main project board the best roadmap, kind of public roadmap for what we should be looking at to understand kind of the vision for where we're headed?
Yes, I'll link like this is near future. I'll link the new
Really?
feature priority.
I feel it's very rarely updated, the
Okay,
project.
cool. I don't know if it's too off topic, but I came to DogeHouse as like the crypto native clubhouse, but obviously a lot of the functionality and a lot of directions like kind of Discord chat based, not necessarily like an audio first. So I don't know if some of the stuff that I was making issues about or talking about is too far from that vision. So I'm just trying to get a sense of where you're seeing it and stuff like that.
The like for me, the next big feature is going to be recording audio.
Cool. So what would be your answer to the clubhouse payments from at least the perspective of if this were to be a crypto native clubhouse, which I don't think it is, but that's where my question came from, I guess.
Like, I guess what do you mean by that? Like, are we going to be doing a similar thing?
Well,
He
yeah.
wants
So
to
like
tip
the
people.
whole drop on Stripe's integration was we want to make features so creators can get paid in Clubhouse. So they're not making money off it, but they're like just from your last video, you're talking about kind of a pivot toward this is for creators. I don't know if it's just the YC narrative or what you're actually trying to build, but I just thought trying to empower creators to make content and get paid directly in DogeHouse seems makes a lot of sense, and it would be an answer to what Clubhouse is doing with Stripe. So I don't know if you want to use Stripe or if I think of a crypto native solution would be something like Lightning, which is tied to that issue I posted in chat earlier. But yeah, I was just curious.
Yes, I do want to have like you could subscribe to creators, you can tip to creators, and I am very attracted to the idea of having like a crypto option. And maybe that's the only option at first, but I do think eventually, no matter what, we're going to have USD.
Okay, cool. So yeah, I was thinking you could fund wallets with USD, with Dogecoin, or Bitcoin, but the actual protocol, the mechanism that you're using to do the payments or to maintain users' accounts. So like if one of the pieces of functionality is going to have to be funding an account if you want to be able to tip. Or let's say I'm opening a channel, I'm going to charge $1. I'm going to drop some great information in my channel or in my room, and anybody can join for $1. So you would have to have a funded account. So I'd say like the funding element is like the first to consider.
Is
But
that not too many hoops though?
for which?
Like if I'm coming, like I assumed if you were coming to like pay with crypto, you already had crypto. But are you seeing, it sounds like you're saying like you fill the wallet with USD. And if that's the case, that feels like, I mean, maybe it makes sense, but I'm just wondering if it's too many hoops. Like you convert, like we charge them in USD, we then convert it to crypto, then we pay like crypto transactions as well to like then being sent. It just feels like we're adding more middlemen.
Also, isn't this against
Yeah,
what
I
we
see.
are
And I
trying
think
to?
I think you're right, especially when you're talking about doing any sort of USD to crypto gateway service, because then you're becoming like a Coinbase or
Yeah,
a Cash,
exactly.
and that there's a lot more liability, and then the risk mitigation for fraud, and you build out, you get stuck in the weeds. So my thinking was something native to crypto. So you would fund your accounts with Dogecoin or Bitcoin or ETH or any
Yep,
crypto,
yep.
and you wouldn't have the fiat rail or any of that complication, I guess.
No, yeah, I see it in the same way.
Uh, isn't this going kind of against what we were trying to do, like public communities? If you start charging them, would that's gonna be against what we're doing, right?
This is not charging. This is, you have the option to subscribe to a creator.
No, but he just said that if he's dropping some quality content, he'll like put a $1 barrier
Are
on
you talking about
everyone.
this issue 1969?
No, I'm just talking about what you just said. You were saying that maybe you're saying some informational stuff,
Oh,
and somebody
sorry,
wants to
my bad.
join your room, and they have to pay $1. I think that's what you said, right? To join your room.
So having used Clubhouse a bit, I get lost in the chat so much trying to like hold the audio first piece and then switch back to using my eyes. And I feel like that clash. I feel like we've talked about it before, you and I, Ben. Just from the
So can you not
Clubhouse
hear
just
me?
doesn't have the chat feed, right? So it's like I'm used to not have everything on the audio side, but then with you have a visual first text based
Okay,
feed
yeah,
for
wait, pause. Let's pause for a second. I think there might be an audio issue. Can you hear Amit right now?
no.
Okay, can you
Oh
click on your
man.
profile and click on debug audio? And then did you see a new thing that popped up?
Hi, I'm talking. Can you see this? A B C D E F
Yeah.
G.
I can't hear you.
Yep.
Okay, so now Amit, start talking and
Uh,
tell me what color you see on Amit's profile.
A B C D E F
I see a
G
red ring,
H
but I
I
don't hear
J
anything
K
still.
Red.
I
L
did
M
the
N
upper
I can
right
hear it.
stop debugger. Oh,
I hear
debugger's
him.
still running? I don't know.
And
QRS.
do you see green on me?
Nope. Oh, I see. Yeah, no, green on the bottom.
I see
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
And
see
so
green on everyone.
I don't see green on anyone.
well, you have to turn
Same
on the
here.
debugger. I don't know if you have the debugger on, but
It says
I've
stop
turned on the
Amit,
debugger now.
start
debugger
talking
already.
now.
Hi,
The
can you guys
debugger
hear
is
me?
off.
Hello, 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 hello.
I can
Can
hear
you
you.
hear me? Okay.
I've
Yeah, we can hear
already
you.
heard him and
can.
I hear him still.
Can Ben hear me?
Ben,
Yeah,
can you
I could
hear
hear
him?
everyone. So did you ever see green on Amit?
No green on it.
Interesting, but you don't see red or orange either.
No red, no orange. I'm on a M1 MacBook Air.
Okay, let's try this. If I reconnect, let's see if he can
Brave
hear me.
browser.
So
I
so
see
this is
green on
actually
his profile.
this is a different bug than it was earlier. Interesting.
Okay.
Well, someone had this
So should I?
exact, Mortality had this problem, and his is related to something else because he saw green, but couldn't hear. But Raz, he can't hear, he doesn't see green, so he's just not receiving the audio packets for you.
So do I restart my browser and see, or does he restart his?
Actually, yeah, Raz, can you try refreshing? All right, and then give it a second, and then just try talking again.
Okay.
Yeah, I got green and I hear you now. So the refresh worked.
Okay.
Okay. I think I have some ideas on this. But okay, to go back to
Yeah.
the topic, Amit was
Yeah.
talking about he thought like creators are then charging money. It's creators are never charging anything. You basically have optionally can subscribe. And then what
No, I
Raz
was just
yeah?
repeating what Raz said. He said that he would like to put like a $1 barrier on his room, right? I think that's what he meant. Or I might be wrong.
I mean that's another option as well, but that's like a different thing.
That
Okay.
could be cool, like premium rooms that you have to kind of use coins to get into. But
Yep.
I also feel
I
like that's kind of
kind of
cheap.
don't like that.
I think that's what Clubhouse is doing with payments.
I didn't even know that.
Doing that is going to make this community private in the end. Then everybody can create a paid room and just sit in there and talk.
No, the difference is it's an option. But that's not going to be a thing for a while anyway. The
Actually,
like
now that I think about it, wouldn't recommend that being a thing, or maybe only an option to some sort of like verified creator or something, because I feel like then a lot of people would just be creating like paid only rooms in the hope of making a buck.
well, like Clubhouse, you're able to do it on Clubhouse without it doesn't have to be enforced by the platform. I as a creator could just say, "Hey, you need to pay $1 to join the room." And if you didn't pay $1, I block you from the room, right?
That's true.
And so I think that's I'm guessing that's you're talking about what's happening on Clubhouse.
From what I understand, I don't think it's fully rolled out, but they have the whole PR thing with the Stripe, and I'm just thinking the whole context of DogeHouse moving into features to help creators, and it makes a lot of they're definitely positioning it as this is we're going to help creators make money, get paid directly in the app, right? So how it's done, we'll see, but I'm speculating a little bit.
But either way, that's like we're gonna have the option to tip. We're gonna have the option to subscribe to creators. Some creators may do that. Whether we as a platform will not be like have a feature like join the room by paying X dollars for a very very long time. I don't see that like in the distant future happening.
Cool.
Yeah, because then you could make a room, fill it with bots, so everyone thinks it's a hot room, but no.
How about we sell users data to Google?
You're asking whether we should do that?
I was just kidding. I don't know what came in my
Hello?
mind.
Yes.
I'm kidding, bro.
Here, how are you
Don't
doing?
do that.
Fine, how are you?
The issue with paid
Um,
rooms is that it
okay.
excludes a large,
Yeah, so we just wanted to just talk to you about the README and just kind of set expectations. So I mean,
What's
Steve
going
and I
on?
don't know how to do this stuff, which is why we
I have no
hired
idea.
you. We've been looking for some guidance from Connor, who did the
What's
back
going
end,
I think
and
someone can't hear us again.
that he assumes the problem is that our database is already live and running, and so adding like a new field to
What is
something that's already
happening?
existing is difficult. I'm not really sure, but like he said, he doesn't know how to run migrations to an already up and running database. So I guess we'll just pause there and say like I don't know if we're going to be able to right now what you're looking for.
By the way,
Well,
this
that
happened when I added Chalked Goose as a speaker.
Yeah,
I think I added.
so it wasn't me. It was Raz. They're working on another project, and I think that's his partner talking about that.
yeah, I
But
just heard his
I
mic.
think the issue with the issue of doing paid rooms like built into the platform is that you really will like what's it called? It rolled off my brain literally as that happened. But you're going to exclude a large percentage of the world population. Like a lot of people can't afford like $5 or even $1 to join a clubhouse room.
I'd kind of agree with what he's saying. Like, you shouldn't be able to be forced to pay. If the creator is telling people to pay to join a room outside of DogeHouse, or else they'll block you or something, then that's kind of their own doing, and maybe you can add that in some of the terms of service or agreement or something. But I feel like making people pay to join a room is a bit excessive.
Yeah, and it's like for me, like right, $5 might be nothing, considering the fact that if I would even consider paying five to join a room, like a new room or something, $5 to me might be nothing, but to somebody in a country where $5 is like daily earnings or even like an hour's wage, it's not really like fair to them to have it be gated that way.
Exactly. I completely agree.
I also think like most people who do have the money, or some people who wouldn't have payment methods.
I mean, we don't really have
Yeah,
to
like
beat
a
a
lot
dead
of
horse here. We're not going to be doing it anyway.
I do like the whole like Patreon like support model though.
What exactly is Doge Nitro gonna bring except special emotes and stuff? Something more, or that's all?
It's going to be mostly like UI buffs. I don't know, maybe you can have a GIF as an avatar, but again, that's going to be further down the line. I don't really think about it right now that much.
Okay. No, as far as I know, there's no autoconnect.
No, there
Cause
is.
there is.
Yeah.
My net has gone multiple times in the past few days, and I have not been auto-connected to the room.
Okay, I'll double check it. Maybe something broke when switching to the new design, but it's using the same WebRTC code and it should reconnect on like network loss.
Okay. I'll try this out today again to just check if it works.
Okay. All right, we're coming up on the hour. Does anyone have any last questions before we end the meeting?
I have one, but it's not about. It's about me implementing the thing.
All right, shoot.
What's the component or story named of the profile pop-up? I can't find it under profile.
I don't know if there's a story for it, but it's called user preview.
Oh, okay.
What do you mean, mortality, by make a way you can change the audio of the room as a whole?
I think it means to mute everyone at once, maybe. There is an option.
These kind of things. So like, I know all the other things. I just
He's
don't know
unmuted again.
like how to make changes with
How?
SQLite, how to add new columns, and how to run my.
There he goes.
Okay, if you're talking about muting everyone at the same time or increasing or decreasing everybody's volume, you can click on your profile and go to voice settings.
Yeah, there's a global volume in voice settings. There probably will be DogeHouse merch at some point.
Thank God. Thank you.
You need to
And
give
then
it 3 years.
Defen as well is going to be coming.
Hey, I'm working on that soon.
Final question regarding like the progress. So you have the roadmap, your priority list, right? Where do you see DogeHouse in a month, say 3 months and 6 months? Do you have plans or goals for how you want it to grow and progress?
So the answer is personally no. I just like take it a feature at a time. But I need to create kind of that roadmap because it's good to stick in like pitch decks. But I haven't done it yet. But I mean, the short term is the next big thing. Definitely is I want to be able to record rooms.
Okay.
Just a question. I have like never really owned a room, so I'm not too sure about this, but are you able to force somebody back to listener or no?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
And I think that's what we did there as. And in conclusion, Fody wants other people also to help with docs. If anyone wants to do docs things, hit him up on Discord or GitHub. And yeah, that's the end of the meeting. Thank you guys for coming. And peace.